Dallas, Texas. It's now time to start your next matchup. And what's crazy about this is that these two teams literally just played against each other in the grand finals of IEM Sydney just not long ago. And now we're gonna get to see it here in Dallas, Texas. You thought that you were missing out because it was in Australia. Good news, folks. We're gonna have some world-class Counter-Strike right here in Dallas. Are you guys excited? Well, it's now time to start our second semi-final matchup of the day.
I think we played very good. We were communicating in all situations very good. We made good team decisions in the rounds, and even though we were down 3v5, we could win the rounds. So, I mean, individual skill, communication, everything went perfect for us. Astralis is a very strong team, tactic-wise and also skill-wise, so every single player in the team can frag very good. Obviously, I think in the matchup they are the favorites still, so it will be a tough game.
Glaved, 2 quick kills to now keep the man advantage just flowing on in for Astralis.
I think we will do the same thing we did in Sydney. We have to be on our own point with our individual skill, and if we will do that, I think we have a good chance to beat them. This event shows pretty good spirit, and people are cheering for us. They were cheering for both teams, so it feels very good. Hopefully it will be a good game.
The tournament has been going really good. We haven't lost a map, so yeah, everybody is playing well, and we're having fun while we're playing, and yeah, everything is good right now. We really like to play. So the week between Sydney and this event was mainly just practice. Usually we just practice right when we get home. Maybe we have the day off, the day we arrive, but it was a stressful event with a lot of jet lag. So we took some days off, and then we started to practice a little bit less. So we actually didn't play that much up till this event. So when we arrived here, we just decided to do a lot of individual practice instead, and only a little bit of team practice. I think everybody has been showing quite some skill this tournament. I think Dupree has been the best. He was really good for us at Sydney as well. He's really showing up right now. He's doing his job really well. He's helping his teammates, so he's doing a really good job right now. I think against FaZe would be a nice semi-final. We want revenge for IEM Sydney, and I believe that we can get it here. That's going to be nice. I haven't played that before, so I think there will be a lot of fans and such. I think like last time we were in Sydney, it was really great, and I think that it was going to be just as great here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your first team to the stage. Put your hands together for Astralis! This is a rematch of the IEM Sydney Grand Finals, but these guys, they're innovators of the game, and they have left a path of domination in their wake here at Season 7 of the ESL Pro League. But their opponents are certainly looking to take home the top prize. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, FaZe Clan! After a very strong showing against SK Gaming yesterday, FaZe Clan looked poised to move on to the grand finals, and they're hoping that history would repeat itself here, and still performing at full capacity despite not having the legendary Olaf Meister in their roster just shows how talented this team is. But ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set, the players are ready to go. So let's go ahead, let's make some noise, let's get hyped up, folks. This matchup's gonna be incredible. This is what Counter-Strike is all about. It's now time to start the matchup. It's FaZe Clan versus Astralis.
Seats taken around the world, both at home and here on the stage, in the crowd. Everyone prepares themselves for this game. They know they're going to be enjoying themselves, whether it's in the server or enjoying exactly what's going down amongst these two teams. Astralis versus FaZe Clan. Mirage will be our first battleground, and this is where I start picking our analysts' minds and understanding exactly what those win conditions are for either side. How does Mirage go their way? And I mean, when you start talking about setups, Yanko, understanding how they're going to interact, how these players are going to meet in the server, is there anything that jumps off the page for you?
I think the main thing is, barring that cash game in Sydney, the rest of it, FaZe won that final on CT sides. They had very strong CT sides, and cash is a predominantly T-sided map, so no surprise there that they got 10 rounds. Mirage is even pretty much, you know, a lot of it depends on the economy. I think for FaZe here, they do need to have a good enough T side. They need to have that good start. I think Astralis does a very good job, similar to Team Liquid, at changing things up on their CT side, having different setups, taking calculated risks, right? And it's more difficult to get a good read against them. So FaZe getting a good start with that pistol would make it more difficult for Astralis to go for those moves, right? Because if you go for it, it doesn't pay off. Suddenly you have to eco, and you can be down 5-0.
And I mean, previously, Jacob, you spoke about Glaive being the best in-game leader in the world. What is it that he's calling on Mirage that is oh so scary, mixing it up?
He's so good at being the mid-round caller, basically. He's so good at setting up his teams to doing the right thing. Janko said as well, he has a well-working relationship with Sonic, who is the coach. So they set up the team, you know, to success, basically. And then in the rounds, when everything is hectic and when everything is going on, he's so good at picking up the information that is constantly coming in from his teammates to, like, basically deliver the right plan every single time. I've never played with a player that has so much I would say calmness in very tight and pressured situation as he has. It could be like a 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3 where they're shooting duels and all of a sudden he's just, let's go B, like with the most calm voice ever. And that's like, it just affects your teammates so much because you believe in what he's saying. That's such a big part of being an in-game leader. You can have a great in-game leader who's maybe saying stuff, you know, making the right calls, but if you don't believe in him, then it's not going to be as successful as it is if you constantly believe in him.
Fits perfectly with what we previously said about Carrigan's tenure with the Astralis boys, is there wasn't belief in what he was trying to deliver.
And that was the big problem, right? They stopped to believing in what he was saying, so it didn't work out as well as it probably should have.
And they've embraced Glaive's system entirely, and look how far it's gotten them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's where the consistency comes from, right? They all are on the same page. They work very hard. They're efficient in their practice, and it shows in the official games and on the server. And I think for FaZe, something that's very important, and why Nico has had such a good tournament. You can see that they've, especially in that game versus SK, they moved him around a bit. On overpass, he wasn't going B every round on T side, trying to get duels, right? On Mirage, he wasn't going A apps every round. That clutch 1v4, that came from Connector, right? So I think that's why people got used to a little bit what he's doing on some of these maps, and by just sending into a different part of the map, even if he's not as practiced in it, he's still obviously a very skilled player. He'll know how to hold his own, and that's maybe throwing teams a little bit off guard, that they're expecting something that's simply not coming, and the actual attack is coming from a different place. And
one thing that I want to cover as we get into this one now, the last huddles coming in from the teams, FaZe considering themselves underdogs, do you?
I think they say that they consider themselves underdogs, but I think they actually don't feel like they're the underdog. I think they feel like SK yesterday felt they had the edge over FaZe because of the rivalry and because of the mentality coming into that one. I think FaZe feel like they have the upper hand whenever they play Astralis. Even if objectively Astralis is playing better and they might be the better team and all that, I think FaZe is super confident coming into this one.
I think this is the best we've ever seen Astralis look. Sure, they won the major back in the days when they had Cabby on them with the team, but let's not forget that they were close of going out of the group stages at that major. They were playing against me with Liquid back then, I remember, in the deciding game. So they were very close, you know, between floating around, you know, going to the playoff and not. Now, these days, Astralis is every single game they're coming into it, they're dominating and they're winning big scorelines. You know, it's not a team that is just winning games; they're winning it with dominance, and it's the best Astralis I've ever seen. Obviously, it's going to implode at some point. They can't keep at this level at any times, and it's only going to be a question of time. But as it is right now, I see no signs or no signatures that Astralis is not going to keep on going. This is the best we've seen them in such a long time, and every single player is just stepping up to a whole new level.
No signs of slowing their power level. Well over 9,000 at this point in time. You cannot stop the Danes. It's going to be FaZe who try to do so. Your prediction, though, Janko, it is that time.
I hate you so much.
I know. You normally you're like, oh, thank you for not asking.
I told you already, kind of. I was going to go with Astralis before we came here, and then I saw the maps, and I think if they played the same maps, it would actually benefit Astralis because they were all so close. I think they would have been able to adjust. But on different maps now, I think that's where FaZe, they always tend to switch things up coming into a game versus Astralis. They might be doing one thing the whole tournament, game versus Astralis, they change it up and it becomes much more difficult. So it's more difficult for Astralis to prepare. That's why I think FaZe is going to take this one.
From an analytical point of stand, I wouldn't really say there's anything that tells me FaZe is going to be able to...
You've just bigged up Astralis for about 25 minutes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but that's just how the reality is, Alex. They're the best team in the world right now. So
and you're going to be going for the Astralis?
I'm going to go for Astralis. It's the best team right now. There's nothing FaZe can do about it.
If I pick, you know, FaZe now and they lose, Nico is going to renounce me because every time I pick them to win, they end up losing. And then when I bash them on social media that they're going to get trashed in the grand final, they sweep and lift the trophy. So I said I was always going to predict against them for that. You know, it's a kind of a win-win situation for me. But
so you're technically a bad friend, Janko.
Yeah, I am a very bad friend. Alex can testify.
Yeah, I haven't got any updates on this game going live, so I guess we've got some extra time. Typically,
something that's important to note as well. As FaZe already played in the arena yesterday, and sometimes having that extra day off is a good thing. You can prepare a bit more and all of that. You can relax. But sometimes it's bad because this is your first game on the stage, right? You're starting off on the CT side of Mirage. That's where you should have the upper hand. And if FaZe is feeling, you know, if they come out hotter, having that quick start like we talked about can really make a big difference for them in this first map.
It's final thoughts time, Jacob. We're getting into the game.
Astralis going to take.
Astralis to take it. It sounds like there's a split divided desk. It's a huge game, a huge match of Counter-Strike for everyone here to enjoy. And your casters, no stranger to enjoying themselves. It is going to be Jason and Jordan.
Thank you to the desk. And semifinal number 2 is underway. The winner of this series facing off against Team Liquid in the grand finals tomorrow. But first, we've got to get through this repeat, this treat, this gift we've been given in the semifinals. A rematch already of IEM Sydney Grand Finals just a couple weeks ago, and we're getting live into the pistol round phase. All 5 players with armor, and they've been shut down already. Device, the immediate headshot onto Kerrigan.
That's how you want to start things off if you're Astralis, particularly given the strength that we saw FaZe giving us on Mirage yesterday against SK. But there are still plenty of opportunities here for FaZe in this pistol round. Rain, well, look, he had a few tries, and eventually one of them pays off, and inevitably he was going to find that frag. So we're back to 4 apiece, but Majors has other ideas as he gets another kill there for Astralis.
Yeah, but this defense can't hold forever. Nico's coming up the ramp, and we know what he's like. He's missed a couple shots on a Glaive, but that's going to force Glaive back into Dupree now alone. Somehow they win just barely their individual duels, and Astralis gets that pistol round. Dupree and Glaive, big plays down the stretch.
Yeah, very strange pistol round, all things considered, especially the shenanigans that Rain was showing us there in mid, but then Nico coming around on the wrap, not really being able to get anything done. Obviously a little bit disappointing for FaZe not being able to start things off there, but they are going to buy into this round with the pistol and armor.
Oh, Rain, that was so cheeky. Eventually, it's going to land for him. Nice little burst fire there. It helps out in certain situations. So FaZe going to be on the back foot trying to get into things, but investment into the second round. Everyone but Guardian, really. He's got a P250, but no utility. No utility at the end of him, actually. So the Deagles on Rain and, on Kerrigan and Nico have got to do some work. We know Nico's can ring out pretty well. Kerrigan smoked off in Palace, but it looks like mid-control and straight above. Rain not expecting Dupree, who's just going to fall away. And now Exist has a chance, but Device with a quick rebuttal.
Yeah, Astralis looking really sharp. Obviously, we're only, a round and a half in, but things are looking pretty nice for them so far. FaZe haven't really been able to get anything too impressive going just yet. But, of course, with players of this caliber, it's only a matter of time.
I mean, there's nothing to do here. If you're FaZe, you might as well play this pretty slow, pretty patient. Kerrigan and Nico, give him as many chances as possible to find a pick with his Deagle. Not a great likelihood of you winning this game. Dupree is going to love taking that fight, but obviously it's the economic damage that you want to get here, and it doesn't look like they're going to take too much, especially considering Guardian now has a CZ, but he's got no armor. He's going to go down to Glaive. That's the bomb, and Nico, he gets wiped off. There's actually not a single point of damage dealt by FaZe in that round. Nice management from Astralis. A good start here on Mirage.
Yeah, it's really clean from Astralis. They'll be feeling happy with how that's gone. They're starting to warm their way into this, and it was something that Janko was talking about, how Astralis haven't yet played here on the stage, but starting off on the CT side, things are going nicely, and if they can, slowly and steadily get their way into this half, they'll be starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in 3 or 4 rounds' time.
Astralis is going to have, I mean, this bonus round is so powerful. There's 4 SMGs on the board, and I mean, obviously they're going to push and try and hunt down these kills, at least on one player, because they're going to want to upgrade some of it. Here comes the flash. Dupree a chance to just mow them all down. They're going for a rung boost. They're actually trapped. Nade is out. That could do massive damage. They step in front of it, though, and it's Device who reaps all the rewards. Well, all 5 kills, an ace.
It might have been the easiest ace you've ever seen in your life, but you'll be happy with that if you're Device. The grenade did end up doing a little bit of damage, but really, all in all, that's how standard fare is there for Astralis. 3-0 up for them now, and FaZe will get their first buy through. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting.
This is going to be a bonus round, end-all bonus round with Famas passed over to Magisk. You have Zipnix and Glaive on the SMGs. You have the AWP on Device. Guardian's got his as well on the T side. This is going to be a very fun, exciting battle to watch. Device going for the jump, and actually he got it late. He's being pressured. He's already forced in towards ladder room, already trapped. Very quick mid-control from FaZe. Limited utility. We saw this yesterday. They really picked up the pace, and it's working again here. Nico and Exist open.
Great opening into the A bomb site here for FaZe. There's nobody left on the site right now for Astralis. We've got to remember that Astralis haven't really invested as much into this round as they could have. Device causing some problems still for FaZe. But all in all, now that that bomb has been planted and the post plant is set up, this is going to be not an easy one for Astralis to come back into, particularly given Zipex does only have that SMG. And at the end, if they can't find another frag fairly quickly here, they might just end up giving this up.
Yeah, they just need to concentrate on saving that AWP. Zipex is even going to buddy up to help protect him in case there's any kind of a chase, but FaZe isn't worried about that. They're still in that mode where they need to build up money before they go hunting down weapons, but a blistering pace in that 4th round. Device a little bit slow on that jump over towards Catwalk, and he got put in a really awkward situation. Very uncomfortable for him. And Astralis just couldn't handle it. So many smoke, so much confusion in middle, and FaZe takes advantage of it. So they're on the board very early on despite everything. I think Device there, you could see running to try and pick up an AK-47, which he does succeed and do. Smart play from him to get the extra weapon.
All right, so the full buy this time should come out from Astralis. They have plenty of cash. Everything is going to be in their back pockets here. Plenty of utility. Let's see if FaZe decide to go aggressively again, though. Maybe they just opted to do that, given that they might have suspected Astralis would have a bit of a weaker buy. In the end, they do make it work, and if they default back to that and they can continue to make it work, it's going to be difficult for Astralis to deal with.
Device is challenging that. Look at Guardian, fast pace towards the B bomb site. We've seen AWPers that love to do this, and we saw Guardian yesterday pin bolts, pick them out of the sky a couple times with those jumps. This time, not going to be allowed. Zipnik's going to play that a bit smarter. He falls away, and now we just fall into a default. That was the only aggression FaZe wanted to open with in this round. And we'll see what they choose to go from there.
Yeah, keeping Astralis guessing, not necessarily putting themselves into the similar situation over and over and over again. Obviously, it is only the 2nd gun round, but for FaZe, nice to see them changing things up now, though, starting to get some control into mid. And Glaive, alongside Zipex, will have a little bit of work to be doing.
Pretty interesting to see Astralis put Glaive at the top of connector. If you think to most other teams, it's usually like a star player. It's usually like one of the best anchors you have. Like if you think Crim's on Fnatic, if you think Nico on the CT side for FaZe, and here we have Glaive, the in-game leader for Astralis, holding that position, calling for rotations now as Device heads over. Exist and Rain are going to pressure him, and actually 3 players coming up ramp. Guardian's now got the angle. He can hold players pinned down in towards the bomb site, making sure no one peeks from ticket booth. Just still staying quiet in the bomb site, and there he goes, right through the box. Nico and Guardian find him, and Glaive is going to have so much pressure. Device and Zipnix to respond, though, and still Glaive hasn't seen anything. There's Exist to find him, and it's back and forth.
Astralis doing a bit of a better job this time, but it's still back to a 2v2. The bomb is going to go down, and FaZe, now the timer is working in their favor. Nico might just be the big proponent of the success for FaZe here, as he does get rid of Dupree. Zipex now, we've spoken about him in clutch situations so many times. Well, here's one presented for us and presented for Astralis. The 1v2, he's been spotted out. Carrigan shuts it down. There's absolutely nothing that he can do. And Astralis have to wait for a little bit longer for their next round.
I think they're going to buy again here, though. They're going to see a timeout come out as I think that's going to be Astralis. Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row, and they have a very weird money situation. 3 players can buy. They can even have the AWP. They need to decide exactly what they want to invest in. It's Zipnix and Glaive who might be left in the cold. Buying here, though, and losing from Astralis would just wipe everything out, though. That could be a very deadly double reset, or actually it'd probably be a single reset with the losing bonus building up the way it is. But this is a good start from FaZe. They haven't really been challenged too much for mid control. They've kind of won it with a very fast-paced round in the first gun round. This time they kind of do it a little bit more measured. Still able to take things over, as there was a lean from Astralis towards that B bomb site before Device rotates back, and here comes that investment.
Well, the question for me is how long is it going to take Astralis to adapt into these rounds? Because from what we've seen so far, FaZe, like you said, they haven't really been challenged for mid. How long is it going to take Astralis to try and figure something out there? Are we going to see them go aggressive on the gun rounds? We're going to see Device have a bit more of an impact with the AWP into mid. That's what we're waiting to see. But for Astralis, again, another buy does come out. So an important round for them. Like you've said, if they do drop this one back onto the eco, they don't have a huge amount of utility to work with here, but a 4-stack on the A bomb site.
Guardian got the angle at A ramp, this one right here, and he actually saw 1 or 2 players running over towards Connector, called it out to his team, and immediately Rain backed away from any aggression he was having in mid. Didn't want to take that fight quite yet. They're all going to fall back towards A. FaZe circling back around the map. This is a very early portion with limited information to make this decision, to make this call. And Guardian, will he lead the way? Will he allow the AK-47s to create the space for him? But here we go. Guardian peeks first and Device wins it out.
It's a really important win for Device, starting things off there. Astralis don't have many counter utilities here, so important that they are able to win those aim kills, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Zipex, he'll get 2, and he gets the headshot across onto Rain as well before going down. It's the perfect start to the round for Astralis, and now all they need to do is make sure that they lock this one out. Rain and Nico have looked so good for FaZe, but now it's just Rain with 10 HP left, up against 4. An impossible task, and Device shuts it down. 4 and 2 up now. Astralis, that's an important one that they come back into.
I don't think FaZe expected the op to be on that defensive side. I don't think they expected Device to have it. He gets 3 kills. That's a well put together round from him. Even Zipmix calling over the dink onto that 3rd player so Device can finish him off. But yeah, there's not a flashbang, nothing in Device's face to force him off that angle, and he's going to win those kinds of dry peaks very, very frequently. A good display from him, and that actually saves Astralis from having to save themselves. And FaZe, it couldn't have gone worse. They don't do any damage to the economy, so Astralis is right back into things.
Yeah, and for FaZe, in their own right, their money is actually not too great right now. Nico has got himself the AWP, but he's already lost half of his HP, having a bit of a peek into mid, so that's not worked out the way FaZe would have liked it to. And that round, not only a net gain for Astralis, it's a net loss for FaZe as far as the economy is concerned. So, a slippery slope now for FaZe if they do lose this round back onto an eco. Again, another important one for both of these two teams.
Rain looks like he wants to find a duel at A ramp. There's going to be a run boost in mid. Here we go, Guardian on top of the boxes. Device not in the windows. Going to back away from that. It's pretty silent all across the map as well. Astralis, no great idea of what's coming quite yet. Passive in their positions to find the information before committing, and look at Rain. He's already lurked his way up. He sees the trajectory of that nade, but he's not aware of Glaive. Top of stairs, and that kind of a play does not work. Rain wanted to initiate something. You could tell he wanted to make that play, and it gets shut down. B bomb site has been evacuated for the moment, though. Zipnik's on catwalk. Dupree is rotated over towards window room. Now he's kind of got the idea, the sense of danger coming from these B halls, and so does the rest of Astralis. Everyone rotating over. Device and Dupree on the way.
Yeah, this is so smart from Astralis. They've put themselves in the perfect position. FaZe doesn't have time to rotate across to the A bomb site. They have to commit to B right now. Well, there's 15 seconds on the clock. They've decided to back out. They're giving up the round.
That is very awkward, and that is just Astralis outplaying them, not giving up any mistakes, and FaZe not having a great idea. It's not too often you see that's mentally, that's a dominant victory for Astralis. And I mean, when you think about how much FaZe actually invested into this round, they don't have anything to rebuy nades on any of these players. Guardian's gonna get a flashbang. But Rain's the only one who can have nades. Kerrigan, Nico, and Exist down at about $300 on them. So that's a nightmare. That's actually a disaster. That makes this 2 rounds now where Astralis has a great chance. So miscues from FaZe.
Yeah, what a strange round. Now FaZe put themselves in an economic hole, really. 3 CZs come out, an AK and an AWP.
I swear to God, if they called off a B rush in the last round with 20 seconds left and then go into this round and execute a B hit, I'm going to be very frustrated.
Well, it's not necessarily a B rush just yet, but it does look like it might be a B hit. Again, it's Guardian having a look for that opening frag, and that's what FaZe really needs to get them into this B bomb site. There are still 2 players there for Astralis, as you would expect, but there's, apart from the picks for a FaZe, absolutely nothing to get them into any of these bomb sites, into mid or into anything really. They don't have the flashbangs, they don't have smokes.
That's exactly why it's so confusing why they save. They have essentially the very same buy that they had in the last round. So yeah, back foot, they've used their 1 smoke. They have 1 flashbang on Guardian, so we'll see what they can do with it. All of them in towards mid. Essentially at this point you just say, you know, Guardian, take up a position with that AWP. The rest of the CZs are going to watch the angles, cover him, try and let him get that pick. He almost had the chance on towards Glaive. Now they're starting to get a little bit of aggressive and take some map control. It's very, Very far away. Look at Exist. He can actually stop Device from getting in. So this A bomb site is under a lot of danger. No one's in jungle. No one's in window room. Device rotating around, but Nico's opened something up at B. That's going to force Device the other direction. Exist can pick him off. He does the damage, and all the meanwhile, they've walked into the A bomb site. They've gotten it for free, but it's Glaive. He can stop all of this. When does he make his move? They have not cleared him. They haven't cleared him, and Rain has to get off the plant. Into the arms of Magisk, and there's Guardian to pounce. But Magisk needs to do more to hold on for Astralis, and he's doing just that. 3-on-3. They line up for him. Magisk, the double kill. And Nico is down to 1 HP with a chance.
Well, 14 seconds. I'm not sure how much of a chance he's really got here. Magisk coming up again. So massive for Astralis. He's been such a star in recent times, and 4 kills in that round. 4 super impactful kills as well. 5 and 2. It's going to be going up to 6 Astralis. They can thank Magisk for that round. It was really going bottoms up for them, wasn't it? FaZe got into that A bomb site. They got the opening frag, but then that star individual performance, and that's enough to pull Astralis through.
That is so tough for FaZe to deal with. That is a very nice setup inside that A bomb site, and that's the danger. FaZe, I mean, they just don't have the weaponry to spread across the map, and yeah, they hit up into that A bomb site, but they're not able to really clear anything. Magisk at A ramp, waiting for Glaive to take all the attention in the bomb site, and he makes his move. He's been such a good pickup for this Astralis team. They have got to be thanking their lucky stars that he somehow fell into their lap. Although fair play, same for him. He can't be too upset with how things have worked out.
No, you certainly wouldn't be complaining. But Astralis right now, what they're looking for is a title. They missed out in Sydney. By all rights, it was theirs, but FaZe was the roadblock, and perhaps they could be again. Nico, once more with the AWP. It's been strange seeing him with the AWP, but he's trying to make things work. Not so this round, though. Obviously, a fairly straightforward one for Astralis. Just the eco out for FaZe. Double AWP out now for Astralis as well. So the going gets even tougher.
It really does. They need to start winning right here. FaZe is going to be in some trouble. They're going to be in a big hole. Very solid half being put together from Astralis. And you have to remember, you know, that first round, that bye after FaZe had already won these 2 rounds was very weak, and they're able to pull it off in a dominant fashion. And it's just no looking back from here. 2 ops. Dupree's got the other one. That's going to be at the B bomb site. Device again, aggressive, but it's Glaive to get the kills, and look at all the damage on the Guardian that exists. This is brutal. Device is still holding an angle. He hasn't shied away from the fight at all. Neither has Connector. That's an easy kill, and this defense is wiping out the attack.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit worrisome, or perhaps it already is worrisome right now for FaZe, as it just seems like they can't get an opening. They can't make any inroads. And every single round that we see go past, it seems to get easier and easier for Astralis.
We mentioned that FaZe hadn't really been fought for mid control. Well, now they've got the fight that they didn't have earlier, and they're winning it. And they're winning it now across the map in every bomb site.
Absolutely. Carrigan, 1 versus 4. Not able to get anything done there. So another one is up for Astralis.
A little bit of a breather coming in for FaZe. Much needed as well. Yes, they're getting run ragged across this map. FaZe, you can see everyone below 4,000. They're not even great money. I think what we'll see out of them is maybe a Deagle and CZ investment with the armor. And then we will see Astralis continue to grow this economy. Look at that. That's so much money. So now we have FaZe who have kind of lost success of a lot of their different options. We haven't seen Guardian do too well with the picks. We've seen FaZe, you know, run out of time on a map, just strategically so outplay that they can't move forward, that they can't even make the decision to, at the end of a round. They had to go into the next round with essentially the same half buy, which is pretty brutal. Need someone to start coming alive for you if you're FaZe. The offensive side of this map is not going well. 2-8 as we end the timeout.
Yeah, it's such a stark difference to what we saw yesterday between FaZe and SK on this map. We had Nico and Rain just absolutely going nuts, and even Guardian was having some really good rounds. But everyone's disappeared on the side of FaZe. Not a single player really having much of an impact. I guess Nico, 8 and 7. But aside from that, the highest number on FaZe is 3.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Kerrigan, Exist, and Rain on 2 kills, Guardian on 3. Just not enough frags even coming out for this FaZe side. Even if strategically they were contending with Astralis, which they're not. Not enough kills to make them work. Guardian gonna be the last one to go down. Nicely done from Glaive, and this has been a suffocating hold on this CT side Mirage.
Yeah, goodness me. Looking at the economy that Astralis has started to build up now as well, it just doesn't paint an even prettier picture for FaZe. There's so much cash there on the CT side. And just another round where we see not a single gun lost for Astralis. It feels like I'm getting a sense of deja vu here.
Well, we'll see. The first really good buy that we've seen out of FaZe in some time, to be quite frank. Guardian's going to have an AWP. We'll see how he wants to battle with that over towards the A bomb site and doesn't connect with the kill. Meanwhile, 4 AK-47s exist, is moving towards underpass. Glaive is going to be on catwalk. There's a gap in that smoke that he's peering through, and he sees no information, so passing that on to his team. Outside of Exist and now what it looks like Rain, everyone's pretty much passive on this FaZe side. Looks like they want to take a delayed mid-control. Molotov going to slow things down. And this time it's a new look defense because Astralis isn't going to fight for it. There's not going to be a whole lot of resistance in towards middle.
Well, the push into mid is coming out now for FaZe, and Glaive is just hanging around. Gives Exist a little bit of a love tap, but what I like here for Astralis is that they've got Dupree pushed forward in the B apartments. He's got the AWP, watching the line, just making sure that no one's coming in that direction. So there's a lot of information for Astralis off the back of that, but the opening frag has gone the way of FaZe. That's something that they haven't had. And another one there for Guardian, so.
There he is. Now he's in the game.
Yeah.
Guardian's back in the room. 2 opening kills, just marching his way up catwalk deep into the A bomb site. And yeah, it was great to have Dupree pushed up. He had a lot of information, allowed 4 players to play over towards A and middle. But not anymore, not any longer. It's a 3-on-5 for Astralis as they try to recover, but Dupree has got the read.
Zipex goes down in mid as well, so it's just the 2 players on the A side here for Astralis. Glaive needed to find something there if Astralis were going to get any chance in the round. Now it's Dupree in a 1v5, and that is impossible. With 18 seconds on the clock, FaZe is going to easily be able to get that bomb down, and now they're just going to try and hunt down that AWP, which they do. Nico gets rid of it. It's not going to hurt the economy too much here for Astralis.
You can see this, I mean, this FaZe team is just such a different beast when they start finding some of those opening kills, when they start winning some of those initial duels. And it's really only Guardian and Nico that have provided them that in this game so far. But obviously, once Guardian gets 2 picks for you in middle, it's just, you're going to win this round. You can't even trade properly against FaZe because they have too much talent across the entire board. So Astralis need to avoid those at all costs.
Double AWP has been relinquished by Astralis now. So Dupree going back onto the M4. More of a default setup here for FaZe again. Just splitting across the map. Waiting to see if Astralis is going to try anything, which right now they're not. But Glaive is holding fairly close to the smoke, and that might have been a little bit of crowd play. Nico, oh! He's going to get the first. He runs out of ammo. So unfortunate for him. That was a double kill for sure. But Glaive, he gets the kill with the USP.
Yeah,
goodness me.
No crowd play on that second kill. That was beautiful. The tap up, that was incredible, and you could see the danger of Nico. Now the danger of Exist. He could get a free kill, but Glaive just narrowly falls down. And Exist is going to just hide in towards connector. Magus comes up, and he gets the spot. Sprays him down, and now Glaive with one more. He builds upon it. Aggressive with low HP with the AWP. And Rain is currently blocked out by smoke. It's a 2-on-4, but there's only 2 players defending this portion of the map. Rain and Guardian. A little bit of luck goes their way, and they could turn this into a clutch situation. Utility out, Guardian waiting for the response. No one coming through that Molotov, and it's gonna have to be Rain to pick off Glaive over in CT spawn.
Well, it's Rain going to be picking off no one as Magic shuts him down. Guardian will be able to get the first there. Doesn't actually sacrifice too much HP for it, but there's only 20 seconds left on the clock here, so any option of rotating over to B is really not an option. Zipex was there anyway. Good sharp shot out from him. Shuts down another round there for Astralis. What a different round that could have been, though, had Nico had one more shot in that AK.
That's a good point. He's even asking for HP. He knows he had him low, and it was down to into red health, so that's really tough. Just the slimmest of margins. Although he does transfer over to Vice and get a very nice headshot onto a very important player of this Astralis defense. Either way, I mean, Astralis, they had that one round where they were worried about their economy, and ever since then, they haven't had to worry about money the entire time. It's just been a run of the tables. After the 2 rounds initially that FaZe won, it's a 7-1 run since then. Dominant stuff. Nico now the only player on FaZe in double digits, and this is kind of the team we saw in the IM Sydney group stage that led us to make FaZe out to be such huge underdogs against Astralis. I think this is the kind of performance we expected in the grand finals in Australia that we're getting right now, because there's just no one showing. There's not enough players showing up in big enough way to really dent this defense from Astralis. They are so focused in on this half.
Yeah, definitely. And for FaZe, I mean, obviously getting that win at IM Sydney was great, but you want to see any sort of a follow-up. It's not happening here, not just yet anyway. There's still a lot of time left in this matchup, but if this first half is anything to go by, we might not have a very long second semi-final. And Astralis now starting to make some moves of their own. That's dangerous signs for FaZe. Obviously not much left in this half, but if Astralis are going to dictate this game how they have been in the second half as well, FaZe will be really not having too much time here on Mirage, which is also their own map pick.
That's a weird way to try and do it. A fake execute over towards the B bomb site. Kerrigan's all alone, and he just goes down, and now the rest of them are getting wiped off the map. No kills. FaZe looking lost. They had a game plan coming into it. We liked the way they started out in these gun rounds. Fast pace towards middle. They really solidified their ability to control middle in the follow-up round. But Astralis has adjusted so well, and now it just looks like FaZe is lost. This is what Astralis does to pretty much every team they play against.
Yeah, this just... that looked like a nothing round, really, from FaZe. Astralis, just everywhere you look, are being able to find the kills, and half the time it's FaZe that are either walking through a smoke or looking in the wrong direction. And Astralis are just reading the play so much better. This reminds me of when I was watching Astralis and Fnatic go up against each other at IEM Sydney. It was just an utter demolition. We're getting the same sort of a situation here again.
Yeah, Astralis are pretty cruel like that. You don't get to make a lot of mistakes against them because they make the fewest in all of professional. Look at the damage before they even really get into the bomb site. Guardian down below half. Kerrigan a third of his health. And Astralis know that FaZe is in such an awkward money position. They either have to do something desperate like come through a smoke a la Kerrigan, or just with CZ, they believe they can retake this bomb site.
Well, Device, he's going to lose his teammate there, Magisk, but still enough players here for Astralis that it's not really too big of a cause for concern. And now Guardian and Nico. Again, we must ask them to step up here for FaZe. They need that fourth round, but it is not going to be coming. Nico on his own. The Deagle, well, it does present one kill. The AK now in his hands. Can he do it again here for FaZe? The answer is no. It almost felt like he was setting himself up for it. How many times we've seen a clutch from Tetris? But not this time. 12-3 at the end of the first half. Astralis, what more could you really want?
You probably could have gone for 15 rounds, but they'll settle for 12. They've had a very nice half and a very good job of preventing FaZe from building into this whatsoever. Every time FaZe seemed to have an answer, they stopped it in the follow-up round. That is so well done for FaZe. I mean, you got to be questioning between these maps. The conversation has to be, all right, guys, like, this is not the time to go missing on an individual level. We had a very good group stage here. We need to be able to build upon it here on the stage against Astralis. And obviously wanting to prove that they can still continue to win titles after Sydney. This is also, I mean, you have to remember, this is also a grudge match. I mean, it's been a long time ago that Kerrigan left this team, but there's still got to be something there for him wanting to beat his old teammates on the stages.
We've seen these teams play against each other quite a lot in the last few months as well. I think they've been playing, what, 4 or 5 series against each other, and it's been backwards and forwards. But now we're starting to, or at least to me, it feels like we're starting to move into another different era, at least as far as these two teams are concerned. Astralis definitely looking good right now. Up 12-3, but we're into the second half now. FaZe, they desperately need this pistol round. Starting off nicely with a little bit of damage there onto Zibex, but it's not enough to get the killer. Nico, he rips the head off Glaive. Dupree is going to chase down Kerrigan, though, to trade it back to a 4v4.
That's a big kill from Exist because the B bomb site is pretty much open. Guardian is going to have to get aggressive if he wants to get in. He doesn't count on Magisk. A 3-on-3. The retake going to be tough. There's no kits. 3 players of FaZe with armor. They know where Device is. They know he's right outside the window. There's the swing. Exists an immediate headshot, but Dupree, off angle, combined with Magisk, is going to delete all the market retakes, and it's just down to Nico.
Nico again finds himself in a clutch here for FaZe. It's a 1-on-2, definitely doable for him. He wasn't able to clutch out that last round of the last half, but maybe the pistol round is just a little bit more important. So let's see what he can do. The first kill does go his way, but the timer is running out. He just has to get in there and get this kill. He's run out of time. It doesn't matter, he gets the 2 kills, but there's nothing left for him, and he has to give it up. Astralis will go through with the pistol.
It's like a one-man army at the moment. Nico showing off some beautiful shots. 15 and 10 for him. Guardian the next best at 7 and 13. Unfortunately, Nico not able to clutch it out there. We saw a miraculous pistol run clutch from Kerrigan, but without the kit, there's just not enough time for Nico to make anything work. Astralis 13-3, a huge pistol run to win, and that kind of, especially if they win this round, that pretty much stamps out a lot of the faith you might have in FaZe being able to make a comeback on this CT side. CZ's purchased up for the FaZe side of things. Guardian with the scout. Desperation already in round 2 of this second half.
I want to say that FaZe have shown me anything that gives me some faith here, but I absolutely am not seeing it right now. Glaive and Dupree are low, but the entries into the A bomb side are good enough that Astralis are not concerned with how this has been playing out in this round, or for this entire map, to be fair.
Look at the HPs. They've gotten so close to a couple of kills that haven't been able to close them out. That could have changed things if some of those initial battles went the way of FaZe, but it's not to be. Devon's going to clean up that last one. 14-3, and I think if you're FaZe, I mean, yeah, you just had a CZ and scout by here, but I think you just got to go for it again. I think you just pretty much have to try and win a round with as much of a cushion as possible. If you start thinking you're going to make a comeback at 3-15, that might just be insanity, and why not take a timeout here for FaZe? Just to chat, just to see how everyone's feeling.
Not far off getting an extended timeout.
Now, here would be the great thing. Remember, there's that epic timeout that Kerrigan took when he was in this Danish lineup against Fnatic on the stage of MLG Columbus. He took a timeout when they're up like 15-2, 15-3. It was a 3-minute timeout. He just wanted to let Fnatic sit there.
Yeah.
What if his old teammates returned the favor? What if they just did that to him?
Do that right now.
I would love that.
I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like Astralis just want to get this one done and dusted. It's not really any sort of attempt from FaZe in this map, it doesn't feel like. It's Nico, the only one that's having any impact right now for them, but no one else is showing up. And Astralis are sort of already thinking about relaxing by the pool tonight.
That might be like the one silver lining for FaZe is like, if this is this big of a blowout, right, the conversation between maps is just so easy. It's like, all right, guys, one, we have to forget about that match. Like, just wipe it from your memory. And it's easier to do those with the big losses than it is with the close ones because you don't have those rounds that just haunt you.
Yeah, there's no what-ifs.
Yep.
And perhaps there's too many what-ifs.
And the next one is obviously Nico saying, someone's got to help me out here, boys.
Yeah. Well, Astralis have managed to get their way into the A-bomb side, or sort of. Rain is kind of causing a bit of a problem, but in the end, he is going to go down fairly quickly. Almost had an opportunity to get 2, and then that round could have gotten interesting. But now for Astralis, well, they are losing players across the board. They're managing to trade back. 3 versus 3, still not too bad right now. On that T side, they have the bomb down. FaZe. Now things have been put into the coffin as Magis shuts down 2 and Exist finds himself in a 1v2. Admittedly, Magis and Glaive are very low on HP, but they've got utility. There's a flashbang to force him back. Still another one available there for Magis. I'm not so sure that this is doable for Exist. There's not really very much time to play with. He has to give this one up, surely. Doesn't have a defuse kit. And he just wants to save that AK through, but Glaive might just shut that down.
Yeah, he would have loved that. It's basically, it would have been the best weapon they could have possibly had into the next round. 15-3. A pretty scary strategy for Astralis to run on an anti-force by anti-eco. 2 players hitting the A bomb site, including the bomb, or excuse me, 3 players. And then, you know, 1 player faking B and 1 player in middle. Very spread out, not the strongest play with the bomb, and they're fortunate to be able to trade some things out. Rain gets 1 sneaky kill, but if he was able to convert on Glaive, who he actually dinked, that might have been a different story.
Yeah.
Here we are, a chance for Astralis to close out map 1 very quickly in round 19.
Buyout from FaZe is not anything particularly stellar. A few UMPs, the Max 7 out for Rain. And of course the Scout for Kerrigan. So nothing that really gives you too much faith here for the CT side. An AWP shot does ring out, but no connection there. So FaZe remain unscathed at the moment, but the B bomb site is starting to have some pressure put onto it right now by Astralis. Not committing into it just yet though. The bomb is still in towards T-Apps, and mid now the Expedition for the T side.
Yeah, Astralis is being very cautious in this round. They know that, yeah, they're going to be facing a buy every single round, but this one is going to be stronger than the first 2 due to the losing bonus building. Nice opening kill from Dupree, but Glaive almost eats it, but perhaps that's just kind of like a nice little example of how this match has played out. Guardian with the battle of Glaive not even looking at him and not able to complete the kill, down to 23 HP. He's going to get into the back lines while Device and Dupree take a more aggressive stance. Now it looks like Astralis have made their choice of where they want to hit. Nice kill from Device. He gets tagged, but he gets the shot with the AWP. Now they have the information of where Guardian is. They have the information of where Exist is, and they're taking them all out.
Yeah, it's going to be a B split here for Astralis, or just a B hit, really, as there is no split involved. Device is quite content to sit in mid, and there it is. I mean, it sort of falls by the wayside, but 16-3 is up. Astralis, they close out map 1, and FaZe, they need to do some thinking in this coming up break.
It's not the most exciting match in the world, but this Astralis team is terrifyingly beautiful at Counter-Strike. A dominant victory. We'll see if FaZe can respond on map 2.